welcome back, everybody. We're back with our next match, and it's going to be Team JD versus Team TNT Cardi. That's also known as Team J and Darth versus Team CD Hollow and Quantum Artifact. Now, if you guys haven't noticed, we've got chat predictions back up for you guys, so you can place your bets on who's going to win. But Peanut, who do you bet is going to win this upcoming match?
Well, looking again at these picks and bans, we see Violet getting banned outright again, as well as, I don't know if we mentioned this, but Bjarn has been, I think we've had the players decide as a total to not pick Bjarn, so we are playing on that 5-character roster. So with Violet getting banned, we have Jay and Dart on Jackie and Tor, and CD and Artie on Levka and Justin. Once again, the Levka and Justin combo, I think I'm going to have to go with that. We saw it work for Dart and Karamba just previously, and I think CD and Artie are realizing that that's the way to go. You get that pre-fire, you get that synergy, and I see it working out very, very well.
I gotta say, I was just about to say, wait, no one's playing Justin. They're playing Levka and Artie. So over in our chat, we have typed out CD is Levka, Justin is Artie, which I somehow got reversed, and now I'm just gonna keep reading. Their Artie is the actual character rather than Justin.
Yeah, no, I would say that Artie has been added to the video game. We've talked to Nimble Giant in the last couple of days, and they have said that they will be adding. Justin is now Artie. It's just how it is, how it will be for the rest of the year.
That's gotta be how it is. But exactly like you said, Justin and Levka is a pretty good combination together. They've got, I think they've got the most interesting and the most unique passives and abilities that you can have in games.
I agree. I mean, to see in a 1v1 scenario, you kind of just want more firepower, so that's why we see a lot of Violet, a lot of Tor there. But on the other side, in 2v2s, you really do want to see how these abilities can stack up against each other. And it's seeing that synergy of Justin and Levka, I think we're going to see that quite a bit throughout this tournament. We've seen it every game so far, so.
And I guess Jackie is the only pick just because they can't really pick Bjarn at this time. Just because, like as you said earlier, all the players mutually decided to not pick Bjarn just due to some of the abilities that makes him a little bit too powerful, not making it as much fun for the players. So they kind of want to have a more even game.
And I think that makes sense. They seem to think, I haven't been able to figure it out myself, but they seem to think that Bjarn has a much overpowered ability, which I could totally see with how able to see you are of all these different characters, especially in overtime. It makes sense. Seeing as how much overtime we go into in a 2v2, I think it's a really great sign from all these players to have that mutual agreement.
And especially since TNT Cardi is the team that just brings into overtime so often. And this time, TNT Cardi have taken the Levka away from Team JD.
Yes, they have. I think they saw that strategy working for them in the past, so they decided to try it out for themselves. That being said, JD have taken the point by storm and are currently holding it down with 4 clones. For these last 3 here, we see Jay and Darth both pushing up kind of synchronized, although Jay gets taken down just a bit. Darth has to deal with a pushing 1, and he's able to deal with. And looks like Artie is hanging out underneath, so he will get pushed to point very late here. We've got a lot of blue clones on point, and that is how it will stay. Point for CD and Artie at the last second. Wait, I'm sorry. It's a point for Jay and Darth. My mistake.
It's very difficult to know exactly what's happening. But what happened here in this round is CD got taken out pretty quickly, and Artie was hanging around on the backside. Now, normally, getting a flank on your opponent is fantastic. However, Artie was brought down low as he got there, so it made it a little bit more difficult for him to push out, as Darth is very aware of what's happening around the match. And if Darth sees you, it's almost an instant death.
It really is. He has that aim, and even if he's not able to, I've played him in a couple ranked games. It's been a while, but seeing him on point and seeing him do these little dodges at the end, you'll see them, ADing and going back and forth. Oh, a little massacre down the point there, but nothing too crazy. But you'll see them doing these avoid strats, sliding it which way and that to avoid you hitting their head. It's incredibly hard to hit, especially in a high pressure situation at the end of the match.
And what's also impressive is the way that these players are able to keep track of more or less what's happening there. I think generally speaking, with these games, it would be so extremely difficult if you were just up against so many clones at the same time. But the way that these players have been splitting up the mental load and keeping track of who goes where has been phenomenal. And I'm very curious to see what their comms look like in these games.
It would be interesting to see their comms, because to know like to know where each clone is and to know where your opponents are is really a huge amount of information in this game. For this last round, though, we see Darth pushing up into the center, trying to get as much power or much space as he can down there. He's getting knocked down to about health, but he takes down Artie a little bit, and oh, it looks like the blue squad was able to take out all the red threes, but unfortunately, the orange 1 and 2, it looks like one from each player is actually alive on point, and that will send us to overtime.
Now, in that overtime, typically I would say the players on point are just going to get dominated right when at the get-go. However, Team JD, both clone 3s were alive on top of the point with full HP, and not that fake where I said full HP and Darth actually had quarter. They actually had full HP on top of the point. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Wow. To watch Artie there, he was on, I think he started that clone on point with 1 health. He ran to the others, he ran to his opponent's side and was able to hide out there and get a very gnarly grenade shot near the end. What a beautiful play from Artie. And he actually takes out his own clone
Oh
along
no.
with the other one. Unfortunate for Artie. He tried to play that well, and it backfired on him immensely.
That poor unfortunate pre-fire. Just when you think, oh, I'm gonna pre-fire onto the clone 3, it'll be easy, and then your past clone just says, nah, I'm gonna get you.
Yeah, it is unfortunate. When you spray that point, you do risk killing yourself. But now we have, look at that cluster on point. Looks like we've got
Oh
two
no.
blue. Jay and Darth are both alive, both running to the opposite at the same side. Darth has full health while Jay is down to half. Darth is able to take down Artie's 3, and they're now looking at CD's 3, who's pretty low health as well. He gets taken down. Jay and Darth now, all they have to do is clean up the point, and they should do just that. I don't see any red clones alive. JD take point number 2.
And that was fantastically well played by JD. Jay, although he had half health, they put enough pressure to take down Artie. Artie was just, he was trying to get some fire in, but as he was falling down to get into the lower ground for a more safer position, he got taken down by Darth, who was playing over on the higher position. And that's the advantage you get when you spawn over at the center point. You're able to position yourself to play against where your opponent could be, and it's much harder, much more difficult to pre-fire against that because you're not quite expecting where they can go. There's so many different options, especially in a large map like this.
And as well as something you'll see in 2v2s is you get to see that focus from both players. You know, in a 1v1, oh, hello. In a 1v1 scenario, a lot of, you're not going to have to worry about multiple people shooting at you. Sometimes you will if you've got a really good player. But to see them be able to focus, and when you have 2 targets to shoot at, you can only shoot at 1 at a time. And that's what happened to both Artie and CD there. JD decided to just kind of bowl through both of them 1 at a time. It's a really interesting play from them.
Oh, CD not quite landing that first invisibility strap, but he's going to go for that second shot just to kind of seal the deal here. Both players, the map looks very empty for the most part, but you can see a lot of blue pre-fire coming in from Team JD just because they're not exactly sure where they're going to come in from.
It is, I mean, those are the kind of situations that give you a bit of a false sense of security. Oh, the entire team's all dead. We should have this 3rd clone. But you'll see immediately that Artie and CD should save their clones fairly quickly. They do, so one of the ones gets taken down, another 2 gets taken down. Artie's 3 is very low. He resinks in the middle. He's trying to take down Darth's 2, it looks like. But he's not able to do it. Looks like we've got, oh, sorry, the red clones bring it back, but there is 1 blue clone hanging out in the middle of the point. As you said, imposter syndrome, and we are going to overtime.
And it was very back and forth. Oh no, Artie, I think he went to the wrong side. That might cost that clone 1 very dearly. I think he's going for the health pack that's still there. Yep. So now that's going to put a little bit of pressure for blue team here. But I think the way that they played into overtime was the fact that TNT Cardi, they ran in from the flank And when Darth spotted them from the flank, he saw both of them coming from the flank, and Jay was still making his way towards the point. So they had enough time to take down Darth, although one member of TNT Cardi got taken down. The other one was still alive, I believe, and then that left them alone with that one last clone, which they just unfortunately didn't have enough firepower to take down.
You're very right, and it's interesting that you meant that Artie went to the wrong side as well, because Jay also went to the wrong side and was just kind of standing on top there. I'm not sure if how he was playing that, but that clone does end up making it to point fully alive. So you know what? Scratch my negative strat. That worked out very well for him.
Yeah, and I think it's mostly to force the opponents to have to take that health pack earlier rather than later, and they have a chance to get taken down before the round even begins.
Oh, but there goes that clone. It will resync all of those CDs. Oh, he almost stopped it, but was not able to stop it. Jay is able to resync his 1 and is still working, while Artie on the other side of the point is playing around with Jay's 3. Artie's at low health. He does get taken down, and it looks like we're going to have a blue tea party. Jay and Darth take their game with a solid 3-0 from them.
I was actually about to jump on my seat. Jay was trying to pick up the health pack. He looked for Artie on the side, but didn't see him, so he tried to play more pressure on the center point, and then Artie suddenly steals the health pack from the back. That scared me for a brief moment. I thought Artie's clone 1 was going to get away, and that's the type of pressure that they were hoping to try to get, although Jay was able to play it fantastically well and end the game actually with all 3 of his clones on top of the point.
It was very well played from JD, and now that I'm looking at my stats here, that is the first loss for a Levka and Justin duo, actually. That previously Darth and Jay had won it with Justin and Levka, and Dart and Karamba have both won it with Justin and Levka. But there we see our first loss from our synergy team that we love so much.
Now we'll have to see how these teams are going to pull that synergy together in the next upcoming match. Let's figure out who that's going to be, which is, so we just had Team JD versus Team TNT Cardi. Now we're going to have Team Durambo versus Team Sokupi. And then we'll have 2 more matches before we move on to the single elimination. So we'll be right back as we get the next game set up.